Howdy folks, welcome back to Overland Outfitting. I hope you're doing well and I wish you all the best for the new year. It's been a while since we were last on, and as we talked about at the time, our next move was to make an upgrade to the suspension and the tires that we were running as winter was coming. And happy to report that got that done. And I thought I would just share my thoughts on the experience that I've had so far with both the suspension kit and the tires that I decided to go for this time around. So let's get to it, and we'll get behind the camera and show you what we've done. Okay, so the kit that we've gone with here is an Ironman Foam Cell Pro Stage 1 kit. I did decide to stick with the stock upper and lower control arms, and just wanted to see how that was going to play out. The angle is at its most extreme right now with the wheel cocked and the way I'm articulated off, rolling over towards the passenger side just a little bit. Very happy with the way this kit rides and the handling that I am getting out of it. This is a medium weight spring, which I believe adds about 230 pounds of capacity. I did also upgrade the back to match with the springs and the shocks. Hard to see from this angle, and I apologize, I'm not going to be able to show you the spring up here in the field, but I will say that the installation went fairly well. It did take, of course, longer than I had optimally hoped, but it basically got her done in about 10 or 11 hours. And some considerations and some challenges that I had were relative to the spring compressor that I got. Proved to be a little bit of a problem. I did also have to do a little bit of chop on the other side. I'll show you that later, but in order to get to the top bolt on the shock, in order to be able to tension things down and keep the rod from spinning. I had some clearance issues on the other side from factory and just had to remove a little bit of sheet metal. I do anticipate going with the Ironman control arms later on down the road. I would have done that, but unfortunately there were some availability issues that kind of swung me in the direction of, well, just try it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. We'll see how it works with the original stock units. That still feel quite good. The only issue or complication that adds is the fact that I then the next day took my vehicle in to get the alignment done, and the alignment came together real well both in toe and camber. The caster, however, is 1.1 and 1.2 degrees off, I believe, and that is something that I would hope that I'll be able to correct with changing out the control arms when needed. I'm hoping to do the upper and lower at the same time. When one goes, I'll just do them all. I think the next thing that I'll consider, though, is changing out the sway bar links, both front and rear, as I do have the stock sway bar links still in place, and they are definitely a little, they look a little on the slender side. Let's just put it that way for now. So as light as I'm running it, without any additional bumpers or even a rack at this point, I am quite pleasantly surprised. While it is somewhat stiff, it is still compliant, and I basically just feel like I'm, driving a little bit more of a track car around, relatively speaking. Part of the ride compliance that I'm getting with this setup at this point is also due to the new set of Falken Wild Peak AT tires that I went with. I chose these over the BF Goodrich, which I had before, only for a couple thousand miles when I first bought the vehicle. And I had run Goodyears in the past, and I am definitely very happy with this selection. This tire I have had experience with in the past in the snow, and have always been happy with this family of tire, the Wild Peak family of tires. And I definitely have had good experience with the first run that I've had in snow so far this year. Ride compliance is awesome, as I mentioned earlier, and also the road noise. The road noise is much better on this tire than the Goodyears that I ran in the past, and they just feel, sound, and brake really well. So couldn't be happier with that selection. And then I do want to mention that there was one other complication that I ran into once I got the suspension in, and that is that the CV axle kits, both sides, the boots became exposed. Some cracks in the boots became exposed, and I started slinging grease on the under the wheel well from both sides, and that was unfortunate. I thought my boots were in good shape from when I initially inspected it when I bought this truck, but it turned out not to be the case. And when the articulation that was imparted with the lift, it opened up those cracks and said, the grease has got to go. The crazy thing is that it costs less to change out the total axle assembly as a kit than it does to have them take it apart and replace the boots. And that is just, a sign of the times, I guess. But long story short, I did end up putting 2 new front axles in, and am looking forward to the fact that, well, that's, at least I got those bearings are good up front. So a little bit unfortunate that I had to do it at that time, but oh well. All in all, very happy with the way things are put together. As I said, I got about 1,800 miles on it now since these upgrades. I have driven it in the snow, and I have driven a little bit off-road, and everything is good. I'm getting close to the first rotation, as I am going to do a 5-tire rotation this time around. That's going to be it's going to be a challenge to keep up with, but I'm going to give it a shot and see what I think of that. So folks, if you have any comments, please feel free to share in the comment section. Ask any questions that you like. I am truly impressed with the quality of this Ironman kit. The shocks, the springs, everything is super top quality. I really like the way this kit handles. Even all together, I would say everything is riding much better than my 07 did with a competitor's kit from years ago. And that's probably both a combination of the suspension kit that I ran at the time and the tires. And so I'm really looking forward to moving forward with our next upgrades, as I feel like I have a good foundation underneath me. I will do the control arms down the road, chip away at things here and there if needed, but I feel it's sound and it's going to do what I need it to do until something wears out. So with that, I want to thank you again for stopping by. It's awfully fun to build an FJ up from essentially bone stock, especially when you're not in a hurry and you just kind of want to do it on your own to see it come to fruition down the road. So I hope that you'll consider subscribing. Give us a like if you like this video. Again, ask any questions, leave any comments that you'd like. And I look forward to giving you our next update following the installation of a roof rack and potentially some other armament that I want to add in order to protect the underside a little bit more now that the chassis is becoming more capable. I hope you have a great day. Happy New Year. We'll see you again soon.